25 goal tally as the highest scorer in the Tanzanian outfit.
That is massive for a player like Simon, because he has done incredibly well for the national team. And come to think of it, he's the one that actually scored, the goal that actually put them into the Nations Cup, by beating Guinea in their last game. So he's one player that we're obviously going to look out for from the back, because he's very skillful and he takes risks most of the time, and he doesn't mind putting his head into things. So it's one player that needs to be looked out for.
Now,
and come to think of it, he's the one that actually scored the goal that actually put them into the Nations Cup by beating Guinea in their last game. So he's one player that we're obviously going to look out for from the back, because he's very skillful and he takes risks most of the time, and he doesn't mind putting his head into things. So it's one player that needs to be looked out for. And come to think of it, he's the one that actually scored the goal that actually put them into the Nations Cup by beating Guinea in their last game. So there's one player that we obviously going to look out for from the back, because he's very skillful and he takes risks most of the time, and he doesn't mind putting his head into things.
I agree with you on positive results. I mean, because we're talking just how mental good on that times are all about getting the results. Once you get the result, you got them on your part. But that's happened to Lagos. Truly is a standing by. And when it's what's going on the streets of the social commentary,
most of the time, and he doesn't mind putting his head into things. So it's a positive result. I mean, because we're talking just how mental good on that and also getting the results. Once you get the result, you got them on your part. But that's happened to Lagos. Truly is a standing by. And when it's what's going on the streets of the social commentary, What do you think? Give me a prediction, man. Quick one.
I would say also, maybe 2-0 to Nigeria.
Quick one.
I think I want to stick to 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah, considering how they've been playing the so-called underdogs, playing deep at the back now. So
I hear you. So Nigeria to keep a clean sheet for this one to get their 4th Afcon title on the way. First 45 minutes at the first stadium. It is standing by.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is a competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to
2014. I remember it like it was yesterday. The game meant so much to us. Rona, hungry for success, and our passion knew no bounds. When the DSTV Disky Challenge emerged, what a pivotal moment in South African football. It was as if the universe answered our prayers and gave us a platform to showcase our skills on and off the field.
China flaps at it, falls at him.
Florian Mboka's in.
Robin Williams, the man from PE.
He strikes the ball, Desana attacks it, and
Look at him, he'll be flying down the wing.
improvisation from the 18-year-old Al Foster.
Stefano Morena with the goal already in this tournament.
In for a brace, Gorda!
Goes up.
Mbata, who powers it home. Transition from Boulay.
Joburg, are you ready? The Wanderers is gonna come alive once again. It's cricket, but not just cricket. 4s, 6s, wickets, and some surprises as well. Every game is a celebration with family and friends under the Josie sun and lights. The next gen of South African cricket is ready to shine. So are you ready with the whistle? Because Joburg, we belong.
There's never been a better time to switch to SuperSport Bet. Get 250 bonus spins with your first deposit. Whether you love the excitement of slots, the strategy of table games, or the thrill of live casino action, SuperSport Bet has it all. Claim 250 bonus spins plus 100% first deposit match up to 5,000 Rand. Switch to supersportbet.com. T's and C's apply.
10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
This is the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco 2025.
Good evening from the historic city of Fez, Morocco's cultural and spiritual capital, where the lights of the complex sportif glow with possibility and pressure in equal measure. This is the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco 2025, and Group C begins here and now in this wonderful tournament where reputations can crumble and dreams can ignite in a single 90-minute match. Nigeria arrived as continental heavyweights, three-time champions, burdened with expectation but buoyed by belief in equal measure. Tanzania step onto this stage carrying far less noise, but perhaps a little more freedom. If this competition has taught us anything over the years, it's to never dismiss the underdog. Just ask Ghana, Egypt, Algeria, or even Nigeria against Madagascar just a couple of years ago. Comoros, the Gambia, among those nations that were once viewed as mere participants, now etched into Afcon folklore. They dared to dream and subsequently defied the odds. And that...
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Let's bet on Africa. OneXBet.
Maybe it all starts here. to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind your screen, in the stands, or on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
It's a nice way for us to really launch ourselves, and it's an opposition.
Alongside, this is a fixture steeped with pedigree and possibility. What do you make of Nigeria against Tanzania to open Group C?
I think it's a near perfect match for us to play, in the sense that we could lick our wounds with this. It's a nice way for us to really launch ourselves, and it's an opposition I think we can beat.
Nigeria are unbeaten in their previous 5 meetings, all in competitive fixtures against Tanzania. They've won 3 times. They drawn the other 2. This is a side there that has shown some incredible ability in recent times, but has not quite delivered when it mattered. And I might just touch on the qualifiers a little later as we go. But this is a side that is steeped in possibility themselves. And when it comes to Africa Cup of Nations, never discount Nigeria. They are a side that have history behind them, and maybe facing Nigeria again, they'll have belief that they can go on and claim a 4th title.
Well, I don't see the reason why they shouldn't. This is all we've got left now. We're out of the World Cup, and these players also want to write their names also in history.
Players who would write their names in history.
Has recently made his way to Turkey, where he now plays for Besiktas.
Being worn by Wilfred Ndidi for Nigeria. Wana Samatta is the captain's armband for this Tanzania side. The only Tanzanian ever to play in the Premier League and to score in the Premier League. Wilfred Ndidi has been a long-time fixture in the Premier League, but has recently made his way to Turkey, where he now plays for Besiktas. There are players that bring a great deal of energy and excitement into this tournament and into this time. It's Tanzania on the left of your screen, Nigeria on the right, and the Mauritanian referee, Baydinahan, the tallest of the gentlemen at the front of your screen. The man from Mauritania is the official in the middle for today's encounter here at the Complex Sportif de Fez. The CAF anthem and indeed the entry of the respective teams behind the officials.
Mauritania will pluck the kick-off ball from its pedestal and march out smiling. Trailing behind it, the respective teams, Tanzania in blue, Nigeria
making their way from the tunnel.
And black.
The stadium filling with sense
on the grand stage that is
of anticipation.
Tanzania, there is an underdog story there that the next host
Mauritania will pluck the kick-off ball from its pedestal and march out smiling. Trailing behind him, the respective teams, Tanzania in blue, Nigeria in green and black. 2 sides preparing to do battle on the grand stage that is the Africa Cup of Nations. Tanzania, there is an underdog story there. They're the next hosts of the Africa Cup of Nations, or co-hosts at least. They need this tournament to be strong. The importance of getting off to a strong start from a Tanzanian perspective against Nigeria.
Well, if they want to stand any chance against this Nigerian team, I think they just have to play 100%. They have to play their best football today. But that notwithstanding, I think for Nigeria to dominate this game, Nigeria has to really be important in this tournament. Nigeria has to impose their physicality in this game. They have to really take control of this game from the beginning. So it's going to be pretty important how Nigeria starts this game.
Well, with the sides out of the CAF anthem complete, we pause now for the national anthems of the respective sides, Nigeria and Tanzania.
adopted last year. So now for the national anthem of Tanzania.
Nigeria, we adopted last year. And now for the national anthem of Tanzania. God bless Africa. Indeed. The African Cup of Nations is a blessing for many other continents. A blessing. We have an opportunity for all these players here and now. And moments away. With the anthem played, hands to shaking eyes, getting locked in. You can see it on the faces. There's pride, there's nerves, there's belief. Mungu ibariki Africa. God bless Africa.
Tanzania will wear theirs like fuel.
The African Cup of Nations is a blessing for many on the continent. It's a blessing and an opportunity for all these players here and now. We're moments away. As the anthem's fade, hands are shaking, eyes getting locked in. You can see it on the faces. There's pride, there's nerves, there's belief. Nigeria will shoulder expectation. Tanzania will wear theirs like fuel. Stanley Nwabali starts in goal for the Super Eagles. A man who had an impressive clean sheet run at the last African Cup of Nations, but ahead of him he's got a very strong defensive lineup. Led by Calvin Bassey, Shemir Ajayi is 3 away from 50 international appearances for Nigeria as well. Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi among those who will lock up things in midfield. But watch out for the dangerous players like Chukwueze Nukman and Osimhen starts with Adams in a dangerous attacking front prong. This is a Nigerian side that has got all the potential to do something extraordinary at this tournament. Can they start on the front foot here with a positive platform to launch a successful campaign? For Tanzania, the Taifa Stars, as they post for their pre-match photographs, there'll be coin toss conducted between the respective captains momentarily. The Taifa Stars side that shows some belief themselves. A quick meet and greet between the respective coaches, Miguel Gamondi of Argentina, who coaches Tanzania, and Eric Schell, the Côte d'Ivoire-born Franco-Malian coach, who is in charge of Nigeria and has been since January this year, nearly a year in the role. Coin toss being conducted by Dan Beda, who turns 34 next week, the Mauritanian. He's been a FIFA official since 2018 and one of the finest on the continent. Ndidi and Samata shake hands. There's much respect between the two. Well, formalities all but complete. Aga Hussam Ibrahim is the man in charge of the VAR room. He is the video assistant referee for today's tie.
Samata wears the captain's armband, who leads the line, and Simon Msuva.
Tanzania line up as follows at the Complex Sportif de Fest. It's the very first international start for Zuberi Foba, who is in goal for this Tanzanian side, who's saying down their left flank is critical in terms of his experience. So too the likes of Novatus Miroshi, who's now playing in Turkey. But up front it is Wana Samata, who wears the captain's armband, who leads the line, and Simon Msuva, who plays his 100th match in an international jersey for Tanzania, but 7 of his previous 99 fixtures have not been official matches, so it's only his 93rd cap today, but 100 international appearances is a milestone in its sense that should be celebrated. Nigeria in the huddle, Tanzania spread out across the park, they are ready. Final word from the captains, perhaps. Referee checking his watch, the ball resting on the centre spot. Nigeria know they must impose themselves early. Tanzania know they need to survive, absorb, and then strike when invited. The countdown has begun. This is Africa's game at its rawest. Its passion, its identity, and its possibility compressed into 90 minutes.
Chapter is written. It's Nigeria in their traditional green and black. It is Tanzania in the blue and yellow. Hello and welcome as Al-Ahia gets onto the end of the ball for Tanzania, looking to push forward down towards
the says we can get underway, and Nigeria kick us off at the Complexe Sportif de Fer as the journey begins. The stories start to write themselves, and somewhere in this match, character will be revealed as the next chapter is written. It's Nigeria in their traditional green and black. It is Tanzania in the blue and yellow. Hello and welcome as Al-Ahia gets onto the end of the ball for Tanzania, looking to push forward down towards the near side where Mwambwa looks back to his midfield. This is a busy Tanzanian side who enjoy passing the ball around. Miroshi with a little error that is seized upon immediately by Lukman, who finds Osimhen, and Nigeria look to pounce early. The cutback, it falls into a little pocket of space inside the 18-yard area. And my word, what a frantic start we've had. Because I'd like to introduce the man alongside me. Between us, we have one Olympic gold medal. The legendary Super Eagles player and coach. It is alongside for this time Nigeria against Tanzania. This Complexe Sportif de Fer. Group C start for both these sides.
Argentina is the
Nigeria want to get this match off on the front foot. Tanzania looking to take something from this tournament as they host the next one. Look at him, Michel, the head coach, 48-year-old in charge.
I think that
he's been in the role now.
We cannot afford
his opposite number, Miguel Gamondi of Argentina is the Tanzania coach. But so they're just looking at this fixture, lots of importance wrapped into 90 minutes here and now.
This game is extremely important for Nigeria, more than it is for Tanzania. I think that from the onset, we cannot afford to just play this game. We have to take control of this game. We must win this game. Nigeria must win this game. It's a must-win, and tactically, the way the Tanzanians are put on the pitch now, it's very obvious that they are all set up for counter-attacking football. And that means that Nigeria has to be very, very careful when they lose the ball.
Opportunity down the centre here. Chukwueze in a central role, looks to feed it out wide. Delivery comes from the flying fullback, so Sanusi finds himself up in an attacking area. Final touch of Bright Osiri.
Nigeria cannot afford to play
the 28-year-old based in England, in Rochdale.
The Tanzanian players are not used to very high tempo.
Been around a while for Tanzania, has not played overly many matches. Made his debut ahead of the start of the last Afcon tournament as a warm-up match against Egypt. It's Calvin Bassey.
Nigeria cannot afford to play this game with a very slow tempo. The Tanzanian players are not used to very high tempo. That is evidenced by the club sides they play for. So as long as you play this tempo, a very slow tempo, they will be used to it. So we need to go faster.
Rugby intensity, and around who knows all about intensity is Victor Osimhen. Gravity Groves takes a tumble under the challenge of the hard man from Yanga. Holds up his hand in an apologetic fashion.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Mobali.
To break the challenge from an awkward angle. He ends up taking down Osimhen without touching the ball. Free kick.
The issue is that Mobali is not really... Is that difficult time lately?
Again, knocks it back to Bright Osiri. This Mobali. I think there's a lot of pressure on Mobali.
Controls matters inside to Chukwueze.
There is more than a lot of pressure because the issue is that Mobali is not really is at difficult time lately, and He just has to perform. He has to perform.
Ball out to the far side. Inside with Sanusi joining the attacking line.
That's why we can't find players to play in those
controls matters inside to Chikwueze. Outside of the blue. Crisp on the delivery. Ricochets out towards Ajayi.
Yeah, players like the Wolves
Bassi alongside him.
We can see from here that there's too little movement from the Nigerian side when they're in ball possession, and that's why they can't find players to play in those deep holes.
This is where Iwobi brings that leadership on the park that perhaps is required.
Yeah, players like Iwobi have to really make sure they find players in those deep holes.
That's very, very good recovery from Abdullah to denial. Simeon potential on the end of that. Chikwueze looks from range. And with a little bit of a bobble, 34 manages to bring that under control. 34 it's his first ever international start. And it's come against Nigeria in the Africa Cup of Nations. It doesn't really get much bigger than this. He's played some total of 24 minutes off the bench for Tanzania previously.
All they need now.
So this is dropping the Azam goalkeeper into the proverbial deep end. Will he sink or swim?
Well, I'm kind of optimistic for the manager. I need to be. We all need to be. But when this is what the Tanzanian team, this is where they could be very dangerous. A team that is playing deep defensively, all they need now are set pieces. This is dangerous for Nigeria. Set pieces are what teams that play counter-attack live for.
Maintaining a run of
delivery and Wawali has no problem in plucking that out of the air. Had a very good run now in the last African Cup of Nations where he kept a host of clean sheets. Didn't concede between the opening match against Equatorial Guinea until the semi-final against South Africa. As he ended up maintaining a run of 494 minutes without conceding, which is astonishing at a tournament of this level, as he will be again dictating pace and tempo. So forward.
The tempo is too slow. It has to be quicker than that.
This time, Miroshi, not somebody who's characteristically putting in a stray pass in midfield, manages to pass to the opponent, and Nigeria back in possession. Bassi. Asking for the ball, pleading for the ball, receives the ball. Now Chikwueze. Sanusi asked a great deal of Sanusi. Goal kick it is.
Simba defender.
Not a bad ball, but it's just the dosage that I think was not. Because the ball got to him eventually.
Might have a point,
Yeah,
I think so.
Good call for a corner kick there.
Who's a seasoned veteran, very pragmatic coach. Somebody
should be steered forward by Kapombe.
Coaching in South Africa, winning league titles.
Veteran Simba defender.
Well, we're kind of like seeing it already in the way the teams are playing. One is already playing pragmatic.
Just taking a look at their respective coaches there. Eric Schell is perhaps a little younger, more tactically modernised than Gamondi, who's a seasoned veteran, very pragmatic coach. Somebody who 20 odd years ago was coaching in South Africa, winning league titles.
Traveller in African football circles.
Well, we're kind of like seeing it already in the way the teams are playing. One is already playing pragmatic, while the other one is going offensive. So
maybe that's out of necessity,
coupled with the nature of the manager.
Miguel Gamondi.
Black Stars in Tanzania.
Traveller in African football circles.
Tight angle, acute angle, and it's brilliantly blocked by
Burkina Faso. He's coached in Morocco. In fact, with Riyadh, he's coached in Tunisia with Esperance. The Mamelodi Sundowns, the continental champions in South Africa. Belouizdad in Algeria. Recently with young Africans and Singida Black Stars in Tanzania. Here's a chance for Nigeria to get a little breakthrough. Tight angle, acute angle, and is brilliantly blocked by Forba to deny Akor Adams, the very physical, mobile striker.
These are occasions we have. Nigeria has to make very good use of.
A lot of mobility up front.
The sooner they can break, the better it is.
Physical presence.
And beautiful movement. Beautiful movement by Afcon here. The lateral movement before going deep. That's what kept him away from the offside.
Well, from this
Very,
movement he just made, kind of
beautiful
like tells you where he's playing.
Unfortunately, the finishing did not equate the movement.
Well, he's somebody who brings a lot of mobility up front for this Nigerian side. He's a physical presence, very strong, very mobile. His finishing is excellent. It's his movement, I think, is often so critical.
Well, from this movement he just made, it kind of like tells you where he's playing. These are kind of movements you see a lot from the Spanish players. And that's, he plays his football in Sevilla, if I'm not abusing. So that's, you can see that the movement he gave was, first of all, lateral. The fact that he goes lateral makes it difficult for his defender to take him on. And when the ball comes in, it saves him from being on offside. And that's what he just showed you. So kids watching, learn from this.
Learn from the brains trust meeting for Nigeria as well. Among those Shemina drives in there in BB, all having a little chat just off to the side of this area. Attention focused on the goalkeeper Forbo, who's receiving a little medical attention after perhaps catching the ball in the face. It's like all Adams look to finish. 10 minutes gone, no goals as yet, but Nigeria have the corner here. Header off the woodwork. Agonisingly close, the taller man forward. And Nigeria with a crisp delivery from Chukwueze. Inches away from taking the lead in this tie. As Bassi came running onto it with power behind it as well.
Yeah, very good movement from Bassi. Taking off, and the way he's able to stay. No, it's not Bassi.
I thought it was Bassi from our angle, from our vantage point, but it's Afcon Adams who's got the final touch on that.
Missing one of their playmakers today, unavailable. It's Faisal Saloum. Faitoto, nickname he often plays under.
Ball downfield, but knocks back towards Tanzanian territory, picked up though by Tanzanian defence. Miroshi looks to bring it near side.
Beyond Tanzanian borders.
That it remains goalless, and they're here, able to reel that in.
But unavailable today.
They're missing one of their playmakers today, unavailable. It's Faisal Saloum. Faitoto, nickname he often plays under.
To deny
somebody who's
played
in the domestic scene in Tanzania. Many have expected him to make the move beyond Tanzanian borders, such as his creativity. But unavailable today. He'll push through. This time defence required. Nieto. Looking to deny a chance. Kapombe. Some work out wide as well for Tanzania. Nigeria have Simeon Central, two players looking to get on the end. Abdullah, I think, got the touch on it before it rolled out of play. Throw into Nigeria right near the corner flag.
Strong and pedigreed side. But Chukwueze Iwobi, like Bassi, both find themselves playing in the Premier League with Fulham.
1-2 with his captain. Back to Ajayi. Alvin Bassi now. Three of these players playing in the Premier League with Fulham.
It's pretty obvious what the Tanzanians are playing, what they're doing. And
very strong and pedigreed side.
They're doing it well.
Chukwueze Iwobi, like Bassi, both
He's got 2 men to aim at.
find themselves playing in the Premier League with Fulham.
Attempted to finish that Mavali gathers up cleanly. A little bit of a run from Suva.
It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious what the Tanzanians are playing, what they're doing, and so far they are doing it well.
Kapombe flying up on the far side flank. He's got 2 men to aim at. Maybe just offside, but a lovely acrobatic attempt to finish that Mobali gathers up cleanly.
You don't want your defenders looking back at their goal.
A little bit of a run from
ball in behind the Nigerian defensive line.
Into an attacking area. He's a decidedly dangerous finisher.
His entire career playing in Portugal.
It's quite obvious how to attack, but at the same time, you have to be very careful and make sure that they don't allow the opposition to go on a counter.
Just in behind Shemina Ajayi. You don't want your defenders looking back at their goal. There's a lovely ball in behind the Nigerian defensive line. Inside of Sanusi. Spent his entire career playing in Portugal. Santa Clara, now with Porto, where he's been for the longest time. Continues to create havoc against Benfica. Did so when he was at Santa Clara, did so when he was at Porto loves the Classical.
Far side flank again.
Scored in the Classical as well.
Play. Tanzanian throw.
It will be long ball, just a little too heavy. And Klein falls very full back.
Plays in a wider position. Chukwueze picks up the loose ball, and here's a chance for Lukman. Osimhen looking to time his run.
She's dropped
straight
back
into
deep.
an offside position.
With
Maybe the
speed
chance
building
to
up
shoot.
for Tanzania down that far side flank again. There's an opportunity.
The offside flag is raised.
That was pretty.
Tanzanian throw.
What I'm hoping to see a lot from Nigeria. That is the counter.
A little bit of cover defence.
Very few touches going
forward. Here a little more central now. He plays in a wider position. Chukwueze picks up the loose ball, and here's a chance for Lukman. Osimhen looking to time his run as he's straight into an offside position. Maybe the chance to shoot. Fires powerfully and wide, and then eventually the offside flag is raised.
That was pretty. What I'm hoping to see a lot from Nigeria, that is the counter and quick play, very few touches going forward. But I think if Osimhen had applied the lateral movement we spoke about earlier on a little bit more, he would have been able to keep himself onside. And his first touch got the ball moving away from him anyway. So
player for the big occasion.
That made it difficult for him to finish.
In his time at Aston Villa.
Difficulty.
Premier League scored in the Premier League.
Massive culprit, free kick. Going the way.
Finest from East Africa.
Tanzania.
He's very much secure, but he looks to.
He celebrates his 33rd birthday today. Captain of Tanzania, Bwana Samata. Player foul. He'll be at the danger man. Player for the big occasion. And he's proved that in his time at Aston Villa. Played in the Premier League, scored in the Premier League.
Today. Video analysts these days.
Status is one of the finest from East Africa. He's very much secure, but he looks to
dominating the attacks.
See his star rise further here.
Delivery in on the edge of
He's one player the Tanzanians should look into
first touch.
On the ball, should they get the scoring chance?
The transition has to be quicker.
Well, I think he'll be the one player who's going to be expected to be starved of supply today. Video analysts these days coming to the game so often, but Nigeria is certainly dominating the attacks under it.
You're dominating everything here.
Delivery in on the edge of their 18-yard area. Again, it's a slightly heavy first touch.
Charged him down.
Lukman.
The transition has to be quicker.
He wanted it, but it's gone the way of Lukman.
Used the transition ball a couple of times. It's been crisp from Nigeria. On a couple of occasions, though, they've slowed the momentum down and failed to catch Tanzania on the counter.
He picked up on it. Again, looking for...
Flick
on to somebody
little
running
captain
from
on
deep.
captain action as Samata charged him down.
Expecting the ball to come out his way.
Chukwueze wanted it, but it's gone the way of Lukman.
And that's a little too strong.
Into a little pocket of space, coming across Calvin Bassey.
Pretty clear what the Tanzanians have
He picked up on it, again looking for flick on to somebody running from deep.
But they're doing it very well.
Well, was expecting the ball to come out his way. On the inside as well. Maybe that option not seen. And that's a little too strong. In behind Samata to correct his run and claim possession.
It's pretty clear what the Tanzanians have come out here to do. We go compact, and when we get the ball back, we try to transition so quick as possible forwards. But they're doing it very well because the transitions, they just play one or two balls lateral, and then the next one is vertical. And that's what's making them push up forward easily against Nigeria at the moment.
You will be finding Lukman.
Chukwueze loses possession. Now a little run straight through the centre.
Away.
Lushi to create a little magic. Samata picks up on possession.
Clicking midfield is Lukman.
Hussein is the one
on the
who
inside
chooses.
flank.
The left back.
Forcing right a few steps back. Right, Hussein. Chukwueze loses possession. Now a little run straight through the centre.
In as much as they seem to be playing a 4-4-2 formation,
create a little magic. Samata picks up on possession.
By ball possession, they're able to find themselves in triangle. And that's
few outlets. Hussein is the one he chooses. Left back. Looking close.
Chukwueze just blazing his way past a few before eventually conceding a free kick.
In as much as they seem to be playing a 4-4-2 formation, the Tanzanians, by ball possession, they're able to find themselves in triangles. And that's what's making it possible for them to really be able to play.
Oh, look at the pace of Chukwueze, just blazing his way past the field before eventually conceding a free kick. Tanzania, Kapombe.
And he made his name appear
to deny passage.
Yellow submarine of a team he played in. So as we come up towards the 20th minute, I can tell you that there's a gentle rain that is starting to fall on the pitch now. And with it might bring
his 50th appearance for Nigeria.
That might prove testing for goalkeepers, so maybe a few long-range efforts on the card.
And made his name appear.
They do not like
what a yellow submarine of a team he played in. So as we come up towards the 20th minute, I can tell you that there's a gentle rain that is starting to fall on the pitch now. And with it might bring some damp conditions that might prove testing for goalkeepers. So maybe a few long-range efforts on the cards. Bounce the ball in front of a goalkeeper. They do not like the ball bouncing in front of them in wet conditions, I can tell you. Nigeria nil, Tanzania nil. Through 20 minutes of this Group C tie. Morocco 2025, well and truly alive.
And it's only just over the head.
Both these sides begin their Afcon campaign here and now.
Tanzania, as the rain starts to come down a little heavier now.
Adams onside, looks to pull it back.
Push in the back, perhaps. So,
the same with the defence.
Very mobile, I call. Left, right, he's moving all through the face of the attack line.
Delivery into a danger area, and it's only just over the head of this Victor Osimhen. Free kick awarded though to Tanzania as the rain starts to come down a little heavier now. Push in the back perhaps of Bakari Momyeto.
Responsibility on his shoulders as well. Remind you, first international start for Zuberi Forba, 23-year-old goalkeeper who's between the sticks deliveries. Tanzania today.
Exactly, he was looking for the second post there.
Continental experience.
Mostly dangerous, but very well initiated by the goalkeeper.
Chukwueze again.
So a lot of responsibility on his shoulders as well. I remind you, first international start for Zuberi Forba, 23-year-old goalkeeper who
Big movement, 4 players right inside the area for Nigeria. That's too strong.
Tanzania today, youngster from Azam.
And skidding off the damp
some
surface
continental experience. Confederation Cup into this tournament. Chukwueze again. Looks for a teammate. Osimhen can't find a finish from a ball that shot out in this direction. Sanusi runs forward. He will be. Quick movement. 4 players wait inside the area for Nigeria. That's too strong.
You can actively see how it's disrupting
and skidding off the damp surface now. Sees the ball out of play and harmlessly rolls away for a Nigerian throw.
Those are the kind of pull-outs that we should avoid at the moment because of the nature of the pitch at the moment.
When it starts to
it's raining now, you have to try and get this ball.
Yeah, I mean, we often talk about the rain, and sometimes you can actively see how it's disrupting a match. But when you're playing at this level with some of the finest footballers of the continent around you and against you, I mean, how challenging does, or how challenging are the conditions when it starts to rain like this?
It shouldn't be challenging because the way you play, you have to change it. That's why you're a professional. The moment if it's raining, if the pitch is wet or if it's dry, it also kind of like
shots here maybe going over was Lukman, but really well positioned to make the call. Says nothing in it. Tanzania show a little speed. Looking for a way through, eventually work the ball back towards their goalkeeper and Forba steers it high but not overly far. Hussein gets a touch and Araki brings it under control. Hussein, one of the longest servants of Tanzanian football, up to another particularly long-serving individual in Samata. Suva, Samata and Hussein.
This ball a little bit past
the been around for the longest time for Tanzania.
On the halfway line,
looking for them approaching 100 international appearances.
Potentially a little touch to just try to drop that
among the more talented, undoubtedly. Moves the ball out wide. Needs to be moved to Turkey, where he turns out for Gustep now.
At the moment, I'm very impressed with the Tanzanian step member.
Loose ball, a little bit pounced upon. Hussein on the halfway line, looking for options left and right. Space potentially opening up. A little touch to just try to drop that ball onto the boot of Alphonse Mabula, the bright young talent. Now placed in Jamal.
As at the moment, I'm very impressed with the Tanzanians' third man run without the ball. Especially, and it's quite working out so well for them.
Beyond just 3 points from this opening fixture.
You have to make a statement. You have to make a very big statement. And making that statement is not enough to just win. You have to win it convincing.
Free over the top. He's tackling. He's been tugged on, and that'll be a free kick for Nigeria. Protesting vehemently.
What do Nigeria need beyond just 3 points from this opening fixture?
They have to make a statement. They have to make a very big statement. And making that statement is not enough to just win this game. You have to win it convincing.
To manage the situation.
Over the top, Osimhen battling. He's been tugged on, and that'll be a free kick for Nigeria. Osimhen protesting vehemently. He's being confronting his opponent.
I can understand the pitch.
I think it was with the initial challenge.
He doesn't need to pick up the yellow card either.
Now our referee, Dan Bader, with a little bit of work to do to manage the situation.
Well, I think it's understandable that Osimhen he's had to deal with so much injuries lately, so he wouldn't be pleased to want to taste anything from as regards injuries. So I can understand a bit his attitude, but then again, he shouldn't exaggerate. He doesn't need to pick up the yellow card either. So, the referee's blown, and it's not a foul. That
is where things will resume.
I think it's a yellow card.
Nigeria stand over this. They're around 10 yards outside of the 18-yard area.
Annoyances there for Osimhen was Abdullah had his hand across the face mask of Osimhen for just a moment.
That didn't look intentional to me. It's as if they were just trying to make a foul, but not as if it was going for the masks.
So, St. Peter's, it is where things will resume. Nigeria stand over this. They're around 10 yards outside of the 18-yard area, just to the right of their flank. They look to fire one towards Fowler's goal.
Set pieces are very important when you're playing against a team with a packed defense like the Tanzanians. So Nigeria has to make very good use of this.
England Youth International winning the Under-17 World Cup.
Against the packed defense, when you get set pieces, you have to use it to break the deadlock.
Takes a little deflection on its way through.
Demola Lukman, man who's growing in stature for his Italian club side at Atalanta, and indeed for Nigeria after establishing himself as an England Youth International and winning the Under-17 World Cup and the Under-20 World Cup in 2017. Here he goes, and goes wide. It takes a little deflection on its way through. So corner kick it is, and Nigeria have another set piece. Coming up towards half hour now. The longer this goes, without either side scoring a goal, the greater the belief will become for Tanzania. Nigeria recognise that. And looking to push from St. Peter's. Corner to come. And after the corner flag goes someone Chukwueze. He was phenomenal in creating goals for Villarreal in that Europa League winning season. Was it 4-5 seasons ago now?
Yeah, that was that was where he made his mark with Villarreal. But I must say that this season with Fulham, he's been pulling really his weight, and that's why he's starting today also. And I think that such players are very useful for Nigeria.
Next week. Among those being spoken to.
Jostling for position is one thing, but sometimes it's a little more than some simple jostling going on. Miroshi among those at the very centre of the situation. Calvin Bassey as well. And there's Calvin on his jersey. Turns 26 next week.
This is where tournaments are shaped. Delivery
is among those being spoken to. You know, Victor Osimhen.
Goes the free kick.
Well, I think arguing with the Tanzanians is great for the Tanzanians at this point.
I wouldn't even call it negative. I think they're just going comfortable because by ball possession, you should have gone.
This is where tournaments are shaped. Delivery in former calls, and he's fouled. And Cole Guerrero is a free kick to Tanzania.
When a team is trying to frustrate you and they're playing the negative game like the Tanzanians are doing now, I wouldn't even call it negative. I think they're just going compact the ball because by ball possession, you see them go out. Having to go into such discussions, arguments with them. Oh, that was a clear foul. But these are things that Nigeria has to avoid.
But let's not be fooled by these statistics because
maybe over the top and behind the Nigerian defensive line, there's no concern for these Super Eagles players.
Leaving the play to Nigerians.
It's been a period of domination for Nigeria. 6 shots to 2. They've overwhelmed with territory possession.
Adams gets away from 2 before being fouled.
But let's not be fooled by these statistics because the physiognomy of this game is intentionally created by the Tanzanians who are playing deep and leaving the play to Nigerians.
Anyway. This gliding pass 2, caught by Hussein.
Tanzania. Uncle Adams gets away from 2 before being fouled. Brown is the call. Hussein looks for an opportunity to whip that ball into.
But that notwithstanding, I thought I've been the most active striker in the Nigeria.
Yes, he's got off to a rollicking start
after this gliding pass to caught by Hussein.
Just a couple of months ago, scored again in the semi-finals.
That's actually a foul, but he took the ball. So I think we should give credit to the referee.
Looks to be involved in the game. Again, it comes back to that movement of his.
But that notwithstanding, Akol has been the most active striker in the Nigerian football.
As required.
Yes, he's got off to a rollicking start in his international career. Scored on debut against Lesotho just a couple of months ago. Scored again in the semi-finals of the World Cup playoffs against Gabon. Constantly looking dangerous. He looks to be involved in the game. Again, it comes back to that movement of his. It allows him to look like he's part of the game and ready to pounce as required.
Exactly. That is just the motto. Technically, he's very good.
The only player there is a man who shot 40 yards across the pitch to try to deny Nigeria.
Turns out still for Chipper United in South Africa. Had success in Nigeria before he left for South African shores, as he will be. Oh, that's lovely. In between the defence, round the keeper, Osimhen. Taken a little too wide. Sit back. The only player there is a man who shot 40 yards across the pitch to try to deny Nigeria a chance. Momo with some excellent vision.
It's been a tournament in which not too many goals have been scored in the opening half. So,
that was a lovely play from the Wobby to Osimhen.
Both goals from Morocco in the second
I think his first touch kind of like did him in there. But this was a real opportunity for Nigeria to strike a goal.
Late goals as well. Foster's winner for South Africa against Angola. Salah's 90th.
Been a tournament in which not too many goals have been scored in the opening half. So Comoros both find their goals, and both goals from Morocco in the second half. Morocco and Dakar both scored in the second half, and the Mali-Zambia 1-1 draw. Some late goals as well. Foster's winner for South Africa against Angola. Salah's 90th minute winner for Egypt after Mamouche equalised in the second half against Zimbabwe. There's Chukwueze. Another dazzling run down the flank.
And now.
Finish there ultimately. He will recover this as Hussein clears.
Started way back in 2015.
You will be. His movement, his work rate has been exceptional, as it so often is for the national team. Will be among those players approaching 100 international appearances, earning his 92nd cap here and now.
And he's done all that in 10 years.
And look away, including look
started way back in 2015.
What help Nigeria with create is that in possession, when they go on the attack, to have movements around the man.
Top, Adams is making the run up with a little touch. It falls to Osimhen. Looks out wide. Maybe a cutback option there. A few of his teammates turn and look away, including Lukman.
What could help Nigeria a bit is that in possession, when we go on the attack, it's good to have movements around the man with the ball. So if he can shoot, he can find somebody.
Third base in what is now Tabeja, South Africa.
No, well, I live.
Where it should be United.
He was a league with Newbury in years gone by. He was also with Mickey Tourists and Lobby Stars.
Over 3 years.
Tanzania United as well, I think, for a little bit. He's established
make a little bit of a
third base in what is now South Africa.
Calvin comes away with possession.
Elizabeth, where it should be United. Share a home base.
Osimhen into space, touches on,
He's
right
been with
past
now
the keeper,
for
and surely now
over 3 years.
with a clearance off the line. Scrambling defensive efforts.
So they're looking to make a little bit of a break. Silva with a run diagonally. Then Bassi follows and Calvin comes away with possession. Akor Adams. Osimhen into space, touches on, drives past the keeper and surely now denied with a clearance off the line. Scrambling defensive efforts. It denies Nigeria the lead, courtesy of Bakari Mamieto.
It's tried, but Osimhen should have tried as much as possible to put that ball in the air, not on the ground.
Still pushing. High presence, the header is there.
Beating the goalkeeper, the next ball should be up forwards. That will have been more difficult for the defender to defend it.
Well, there's quality defending from Mamieto. Younger man, who rounded the keeper for the second time in the game, but got off an accurate shot for the first time. Chukwueze, here's Iwobi. Nigeria still pushing. High presence, the header is there, and the goal is good. Nigeria can celebrate. The Super Eagles have left off, and it's Shemi Ajayi who scores only his second international goal.
This was exactly what we were saying earlier, where against teams that play compact, set pieces have to be used to the maximum. And that's what Nigeria has just done now.
That's lovely, locked it in by Iwobi. Shemi Ajayi.
I think this was coming. This was coming because of the fact that lying so deep by the Tanzanians. Beautiful pull out. And very good header.
That's lovely, locked it in by Iwobi. Shemi Ajayi. An aerial presence that is often so critical in defensive efforts becomes critical up front as he scores the opener for Nigeria.
And he attacked the ball. Very, very important. Came from behind, went towards the ball and attacked it.
Akor Adams celebrating with Shemi Ajayi. He might have had a jovial word about that's how it's done. Over the top, one and a half now for Tanzania. Looks to bustle his way past and did it. So there is Samuel, a little bit of respite as Shemi Ajayi comes across as cover. The same. Hiroshi. This is dangerous passing when you get Akor Adams.
This is where we're
in a position like that, given his speed and mobility that we've discussed on numerous occasions.
That is true, but also...
Wanda Samata, just out of picture, is showing a lot of frustration at the moment. He's being starved completely of supply. When Tanzania has the ball, he's not been the immediate outlet for them. I think he wants a little more of the ball. But this is where we're in the captain's armband. Maybe he needs to take a little more responsibility as well and direct issues even when off the ball.
That is true, but also the way they are playing, the fact what they decided to play, the formation that they're very, very compact, that means that he's kind of like lonely up front. And now they have to decide what do. Do they still stay backwards and be content with playing the way they've been doing ever since, or now try to push out more?
Wide, Sanusi. Spoke about the tempo of this match, just slow it a little now after the goal. And that goal, a solid platform for Nigeria. Here's Lukman. Seeking another. Hussein has read that well. Anticipates brilliantly, as Hussein has done throughout his entire career. The fantastic left back.
Be patient and now make sure the attacks are well constructed. You're leading 1-0 anyway. So for that reason, it has to be well constructed. Take your time.
Straight down the centre, look like
It's very important now that Nigeria manages the tempo.
Get a touch on this is again,
It could be understood now to be patient and now make sure the attacks are well constructed. You're leading 1-0 anyway, so for that reason, it has to be well constructed. Take your time.
Straight down the centre, Lookman again searching that ball, deflect almost kindly out towards Sakura Adams. Doesn't get a touch on this. Is again, Onyeto manages to clear out. Big clashes, a few physical moments of contact.
4 players involved, 2 of them were
eventually the free kick awarded to Nigeria. Calvin Bassey conservatively down.
A little passage of play. 40 minutes have come and gone. Nigeria
it's kind of like that should be yellow card, I think.
Towards half time here in Fez.
It's kind of like feels like a retaliatory foul here.
Yeah, no, it's the way the Tanzanians are playing.
4 players involved, 2 of them were captains. Lydia and Samata. From that little passage of play. 40 minutes have come and gone. Nigeria have taken the lead. We're coming up towards half time here in Fez. The rain continues to come down, not heavily.
But I know it's the way the Tanzanians are playing. I think it's really interesting to look at because they are still disciplined. They are still following the game plan. It's kind of as if they didn't have a plan B. That was, we're going to play this way, because if they had a plan B, that means they could have maybe agreed how we change our game should we concede in spite of playing deep. Hopefully they're waiting maybe for the halftime. Maybe then the boss will rearrange them.
Joined Young Africans this year after 11 seasons in Simba, where he carved out legendary status.
We've been talking about pragmatism earlier.
Certainly,
I believe this for Hussein potentially.
Narrative continues. Free kick, Tanzania.
Didi walks away. Samata walks away.
Abdullah wants to take it himself. Hussein stays forward.
Bombao wide.
Hussein moves.
She wants to get involved.
Joined Young Africans this year after 11 seasons with Simba, where he carved out legendary status.
Prowess to help defensively.
Believe this for Hussein potentially. Bibi walks away, Samata walks away.
The option potentially there. Miroshi.
Bomber out wide. Miroshi wanted to get involved.
Space allowed here on target.
He pulled back from one wide, danger area. Again, it's a giant this time. Using his aerial prowess to help defensively. After having scored the only goal of this game with his head a moment ago.
Confederation of African Football President Dr.
Straight down the centre, the option potentially there. Miroshi.
Another look.
Might fancy something, looks for Samata now. Space here on target. Mobali in the wet, unable to seize it cleanly. But blocks the shot. Well, then smothers it.
From Shemia Jai.
One of those watching on the Confederation of African Football President, Dr. Patrice Motsepe.
It was just there. All he had to do was...
Another look. Larry Warby's wonderful ball in.
Lovely ball. Well dosed. The dosage was perfect.
And the free kick going the way of the title.
Quality finish from Shemia Jai.
The finish was made possible by the dosage he gave to the ball. It was the strength that the ball had. It was just there. All he had to do was connect with it.
Look behind, inside the area, squares it. Cleared by Abdullah. Scrambling defensive effort from Tanzania.
They've yet to win a game at the African
Free kick going the way of the Taifa Stars, who are ranked 112th in the world. Nigeria 38th. Some significant separation between the sides. Fifth in Africa, the Super Eagles currently. 3-time champions of the Africa Cup of Nations. Group stage exits for Tanzania in their 3 previous appearances.
I really don't see what is happening safe for them.
They've yet to win a game at the Africa Cup of Nations. They are hopeful that they can do it here as they head towards the next tournament that they will co-host with Kenya and Uganda in an East African affair. Akor Adams being spoken to. He's having his say. Akor Adams.
I really don't see what... I really don't see what is happening safe for them because they ran into the man.
Emotional control is
running through his opponent.
It's more than important, Brent. Because Because at the end of the day, Africans are. This is a tournament that championship we don't take for granted.
In a sense, you want to see that kind of emotion, but Afcon is one of those tournaments where emotional control is so important as well.
It's more than important, Gwen, because at the end of the day, Africans are. This is a tournament that is championship we don't take for granted. It's the African World Cup.
Tanzanians to make the mistake.
Lovely ball through. Silva looks to run onto it. Two players wait. He is there. So to Mapula. Delivery in. Momba looks to finish, but he's driven it wide. And that'll be out for the goal kick.
Nigerians are getting passive defensively. They don't try to anticipate to win the ball. It's as if they're waiting for the Tanzanians to make the mistake. They have to be very careful because that could be costly.
Of Morocco.
It's one thing to dominate the game, but it's something else to allow the opposition to play in your own half.
That is an excellent point. As we hit the 45-minute mark, only 1 minute of additional time here in Fez, one of the great cities in Africa, the cultural and spiritual capital of Morocco.
Chance to finish, deflected and tipped over.
It's the home of the oldest continuously operating university in the world. Nigeria will be wanting to educate Tanzania tonight.
The power driver from Didi in the first place.
Oh, sorry. Didi looks from range, and that's a brilliant effort. Denied by forward. Chukwueze picks up on it. Chance to finish, deflected and tipped over.
He should have struck it immediately. The moment the goalkeeper was on the ground, he should have used his non-thinking foot.
How about the pile driver from Didi in the first place?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh.
And that's supposed to be his weak foot. Yeah, he should have stopped the ball immediately when the ball came back. The moment you do that, yeah, there is panic here, hit it.
Effort denied by
goal is goal. It doesn't matter if it's beautiful or not.
We've seen only one goal yielded. Very quick thoughts on the Odyssey. What you've seen
Work to worry.
Freddie
again. Chukwueze from the near side, delivering again toward the back post. Looking for the acrobatic. And Osimhen are successful in making contact. Sirius' effort denied by Zuberi forward in the Tanzanian goal. It's the first half. We've seen only one goal yielded. Very quick thoughts under Odyssey on what you've seen in the opening 45.
Well, I think the Tanzanians have nothing to be ashamed of because I think they've played very well. Tactically, they've been very good. And I think Nigeria
here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent. Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of Afcon 2025.
A journey. With every challenge, goal and celebration,
official betting partner
of this generations.
All the energy of African football with Total Energies.
Tidbit,
Mom, did you know that some foods are really good for you? Like Nutriday. Only Nutriday has 11 vitamins and zinc and live cultures. Exactly. So they like superheroes while tiny. So putting good gut bacteria instead actually got 2 a day. I'll have another one too.
Only Nutriday is this deliciously good for the whole family. Nutriday, proud sponsor of the Africa Cup of Nations 2025. Now in a new look.
T&Cs apply. Telcom Business.
Betway SA20. Welcome to incredible 26 December to 25 Jan.
You know that some foods are really good for you. Only Nutriday has 11 vitamins and zinc and live cultures. Exactly. So they like superheroes while tiny. So putting good gut bacteria instead actually got 2 a day.
Sponsor of the Africa Cup of Nations 2025. Now in a new look.
They're coming. Coming! They're coming. Coming! Come on! Yes! Yes! Woo!
Your tickets now. Betway SA20.
Let's back our team in Dakar 2026.
Reckon we could have scored a lift there.
Family meets at Afcon. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Festive season rush turned seamless with a reliable internet solution. Get Stream Connect Fiber for only 489 Rand per month. And you could stand a chance to win one of 5 Toyota Starlets or one of 10 Huawei MateBooks. Call 10213, visit telcom.co.za/business, download the My Telcom app or go to any Telcom store. T's and C's apply. Telcom Business. Possible begins here.
In Dakar 2026.
In the heart of every champion lies a journey. One of resilience, passion, and dedication. It's a journey that starts as a dream and is fueled by ambition. A journey made of the relentless pursuit of greatness. And greatness isn't given, it's earned. With every challenge, goal, and celebration, it's a journey that inspires generations. And one that proves that we are made of more. K-Bet, official betting partner of
It has been a fortuitous one for them, but then it's evident where the threat is. I'm sure the weather has a bit of an issue with how we set the play, but on the balance of play, what we have to best, it has been the type of start that's been the side of the ball. This is how situations have turned out, Miguel, in this instance. With
First 45 minutes has the Super Eagles in front with that goal. Well, you would say it has been a fortuitous one for them, but then it's evident where the threat is. I'm not sure if the weather has a bit of an issue with how we've seen the play, but on the balance of play, what we have witnessed, it has been the type of start that's been the better side with the ball handling. This is how situations have turned out, Miguel, in this instance with Akko Adams with that header there. And this cross came through. Like I said, the threat came from the air, and the goal came through by Semenjai.
No, definitely you can see that the physicality of the team of Nigeria makes a big difference in this first half. And when you play with 2 wingers like Lukman and Chikweze, you always find these crosses, and you have 2 tall strikers that they are looking for scoring goals with the head. So I think that was the biggest point on the first half.
Are you impressed with how the Super Eagles have played so far?
I think so far, attacking wise, I'm impressed because they've been coming with attacks, and Lukman trying to play from the depth of the midfield and playing, through the wheel to Osimhen there. But it's just that they need to be a little more calmer in their attacks and being decisive as well.
Decisive they need to be, because we've seen those opportunities there with Victor Osimhen, and he hasn't been as clinical as we know him to be.
I think when you look at Osimhen, you have to look at it tactically to say, what are they doing wrong? Look at the space between Hussein and Amada. The space between the left centre-back and also the left-back is a little bit too big. And Nigeria has gotten opportunities to thread those balls to Osimhen. First touch takes him a little bit away from goal, and that cutback is a little bit too hard to be able to find a teammate. But the distance between the left centre-back and the left-back, Hussein and Amada, has been too big. Hence, Osimhen has used the space in behind. And in this moment, he rounds off the goalkeeper, unlucky not to get a goal in that distance. So his movement off the ball has been very key for Nigeria. He's that outlet to be able to receive him behind that defence. I'm standing next to a centre-back here in Mikel. He will tell you that if the distance becomes bigger between the left back and the left centre-back, it's easier to thread the balls in between. But as defenders, we always want to be as compact as possible so that we don't thread that ball in between us. And I think that was the mistake that Tanzania was making.
And I think that second 45 minutes, that is an area they need to watch out for, because the Super Eagles have taken advantage of it, but they haven't been clinical to punish the Tanzanians.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. It's very difficult for a defender when you are far from your left back. So the secret for a good defense is the shift. So when you are defending a transition, you have to shift. The right back have to come, the right centre back have to come. So obviously Tanzania is struggling a little bit in that area, but at the same time, I think we have to give credit to Tanzania, because they are showing up. They are not sitting back. They are playing face to face against a great national team. So I think they deserve also that respect.
With this miss by Chukwueze, I can imagine the amount of curses that is flying all across Lagos, Kaduna, everywhere, because that's a goal he should have actually put in. But then, hats off to Zubair Masudi, a goalkeeper for the Tanzanian side. I think he's kept it pretty decent in this instance here.
Yeah, we're going to see more of him, because it looks like since the Super Eagles keep coming in, he's going to keep doing his job. And so far, he has been able to stand very well in between the sticks. And we just hope that he continues like this. He's not going to concede more than 2. Like we predicted, that it's going to be 2-0. But we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, second 45 minutes, no doubt, is standing by. But I need to ask you very quickly, what do the Tanzanian side need to do better offensively?
They've got a good shape when they're defending. They need to work on their transition, the outlet to find Samata, and the other guys to go and support him. But I know that then defensively they look good. They must just fix the distance between the left centre-back and the left back. But they have done very well defensively.
All right, your scoreline is still looking very, very safe. Super Eagles are in the lead, 1-0. Second 45 minutes is standing by. The gentlemen here have predicted a 2-0 win for the Super Eagles. Let's see what second 45 minutes will offer.
With the game still deadlocked, it's time for something new.
Let's light it up.
Hey, baby. I missed you so much. What are you doing right now?
I'm in the car now with my family. We are going for lunch. I'll see you in the office on Monday. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a way out.
This Emeka is a very funny guy.
With SportyBet, you do. Because with our maximum cash out availability, there's always a way out. SportyBet, winning is now that easy.
This Emeka is a very funny guy. With SportyBet, you do. Because with our maximum cash out availability,
Your family needs an Afcon. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on SuperSports, only on DSTV.
It's all about finding ways to support you.
Here, we're known for our sense of service.
Day after day, doing everything
it's all about finding ways to support you.
and providing energy in all its
Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful. And providing energy in all its forms.
all across the continent.
Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
The family meets at Afcon 2025. Live on Supersports.
How long have you been doing this now?
15 years now.
15 years. Think we can go again. We're ready. Oh, what time? 15 years.
I'll make a drink for you.
I'll make a drink for
This
you.
festive season, bring everyone together for the world's best football on DSTV. We've got plenty of goals to celebrate, so stay with us because it's definitely on. Be part of every game, every roar, right here on Supersports. Too much football? Never. On the world's best football package, DSTV Compact. It's on.
Well, as long as Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over. Championship is on When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over. Rooted in culture.
10Bet, official betting partner of Afcon number 5.
Between continents.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
The rain remains in Fez, the complex sportif. Tanzania will play Fez in Rabat.
Players and officials gathering in the tunnel now, making their way back up towards the pitch. The rain remains in Fez. The complex sportive hosting group C encounters. All of Nigeria's 3 group stage fixtures will be played here, while Tanzania will play 2 of theirs in Rabat. Uganda in Rabat in 4 days' time before a meeting with Tunisia in Rabat 3 days after that, a week today. Nigeria being led out. There's Assad meaning lion. He's an Atlas lion and he's the mascot for this tournament in North Africa, home of the Atlas lion. I thought this is a lion-hearted individual who's been looking, seeking for a third international goal in only his 5th international appearance. Tanzania looking for a first ever Afcon win, but they've got work to do in the second half. Sunday only stays alongside for this tie. The man who's played at the highest level for Nigeria, coached the team and achieved much more besides expectations now for the second half Sunday.
Well, I expect the Tanzanians at least to give it a little bit more offensive punch into the game. But at the same time, I expect the Nigerians also to not just, or I hope the Nigerians don't just sit back, because should they just sit back, they might get caught on the counter. Because the Tanzanians have not been poor also, they've been good.
Samata gets the second half underway. Tanzania in the blue and yellow, trail by a goal to Nigeria, who play in the green and black. Kapombe with a long ball down towards his captain Samata, who in the wet conditions can't quite bring it under control the way he would have liked.
Monumental errors from
Nigeria, and Bassi leaves it for Sanusi. No changes from either one of these sides at half-time. Are you a little surprised by that, or are you happy that they are both continuing to build on their game plans of the opening half?
I think it's a little bit normal because there's not been really monumental errors from. I think it's just Nigeria just played on their best qualities.
Inside the opening minutes after the restart. The offside flag is up, it won't count. Morocco runs with a diagonal right, latches onto the wall, feeds it in Osimhen with a finish of tremendous quality, but the flag up for offside.
Arco is a turn on the flesh of the Tanzanians. He's mobile, he's calculating his runs. And I think for Nigeria, Osimhen has to also time his runs better.
Seconds of the restart.
Well, he does throw the offside line. Now, Danbede is not going to allow play to get back underway until it has been checked. Video assistant referee will need to confirm whether or not this is offside.
A little bit of an early birthday wish and fine finish here. How was that touch to finish there?
Within seconds of the restart, Victor Osimhen, another delightful finish. There's another player who celebrates a birthday soon. In 6 days' time, he'll celebrate his 27th birthday. Maybe looking to give himself a little bit of an early birthday present with a fine finish here. How was that touch to finish them?
But I think what we should give compliment to the movement of Arco.
Absolutely.
Because he's, like we said earlier on in the first half, he's been mobile, he's been very hard working.
The diagonal run was certainly telling, and his ability to cross is exceptional. Proved that with his movement, with his unselfish square ball in towards the fine finisher that is Victor Osimhen for his 32nd international goal. Only 47 appearances. Chukwueze delivering out wide. So Lukman tucks here in Chukwueze now into a little pocket of space. Delightful return ball, and Rafi looks to close down. And Former is called upon as the ball is lofted into his area. A little too close to the goalkeeper. He's allowed a comfortable catch for Former. Straight down the centre. A little foul.
Scored on debut against Niger.
Tactical foul. Quite smart, or looks smart, because that brought the counter-attack that was good enough.
He's got a really good passing range. Charles Mwamba, based in Australia.
Through the centre.
Yep. Scored on debut against Nigeria
a
couple of years ago. He'd love to score against Nigeria here and now, returning from an offside position. Al-Raki is flagged. Nigeria,
when they're given space, can flourish.
Play back underway.
In toward the edge of that area, Samantha.
Through the centre.
Not to go through.
Couldn't bring it under control. Controlled by Miroshi in midfield for Tanzania. As was saying, if they can string together a clean series of passes, though, that's the problem. Nigeria put enough pressure to disrupt the passing game of Tanzania that when they're given space, can flourish. Kapombe in toward the edge of that area. Samata crowded. Opts not to go through, finds Miroshi, chip over the top, and the run on, and that's going to stand. Mwamba has now got 3 goals in his last 2 games. Tanzania back on level terms in brilliant fashion. Samata's route blocked, the pullback, the chip over the top of the defensive line, and Mwamba with a telling run. The man who scored on debut has now scored again here.
Dwayne, this is impressive. Look at the change of direction, the change of play. This goal started from the right, shifted to the left. They moved Nigerian right, left, and when the ball came back to the left, there was nobody taking the man. This is tactically well executed.
Nigeria are inches away from 2-0.
Very analyst who's done his work. Tanzania would know the pace of Mwamba is key. Mwamba has punished Nigeria. Delightful little lift over the top. Nobody going with the runner.
And what is interesting that just before they scored this goal, you had made this is the offside.
That's inches. Nigeria are inches away from 2-0, and Tanzania take the ball up and score on the opposite end.
Maybe the presence of Samata there is key, because when Samata got onto the ball, his path was immediately blocked.
What I found very interesting here is that you were just saying it before, that they needed to string some passes together, talking about the Tanzanians, and they answered you right. They strung, I think, 4 or 5 passes together. but changing direction from left to right, and it's got the goal.
And maybe the presence of Samata there was key, because when Samata got into the ball, his path was immediately blocked. There were 3 defenders in front of him. What they did was create a little bit of space, maybe diverted attention from Mombo's run. Nigeria look through the centre here. Lukman! There it is again! Ademola Lukman with a fine goal that takes Nigeria back in front. Mere minutes after an equaliser for Tanzania. Lukman looks up and places it perfectly beyond the very former and the Tanzanian goal. Well, 2 goals in effectively 2 minutes in the second half passage of play.
Clinical finishing, really. It took matters into his own hands.
Goal in the winner of Angola in the quarterfinals.
But clinical finishing with his left foot, this is really well struck.
First goal at Afcon 2025.
Well,
that's a glorious strike.
He was the rampant goal scorer in the knockout stages for Nigeria at the last Africa Cup of Nations. His brace against Cameroon in the round of 16. His goal in the winner over Angola in the quarterfinals. He was the go-to player. He's got his first goal at Afcon 2025. And it's a glorious strike. With 4 defenders in front of him. Picked his place with precision. It will be Mbassi forward now up toward the halfway line. Kapombe turns it to Nigerian territory. Chukwueze bumped off the ball by Miroshi. Happy to get physical. Novartis Miroshi.
It might be for Tanzania having scored that equaliser, but Lukman didn't give me a chance to go there. Nigeria reclaimed the lead.
This is the beauty of the Afcon, the physicality, and the fact that players refuse to go willingly to the ground. It's really...
Well, I was going to return to the underdog story and maybe talk about how real it might be for Tanzania having scored that equaliser, but Lukman didn't give me a chance to go there. Nigeria reclaimed the lead.
Well, that's why we love the Afcon.
Ripped in, decent looking delivery, space for Lalakia, hit and deflected, and that's pushed wide, but the offside flag will go up.
Well, if Nigeria have the quality,
with the final touch.
Once again, that's passive defending by Nigerians there.
This is actually turned out to be a very explosive match now.
It's unadmissible at this level to leave the man behind.
Certainly has been.
Inadmissible.
Big midfield battle indeed with a challenge.
If Nigeria have the quality, Tanzania have the hunger. They're looking to showcase that.
This is actually turned out to be a very explosive match now, both end-to-end stuff for us.
If they want to win this game, they have to punch that.
It certainly has been. Big midfield battle indeed with a challenge, and that'll be challenged.
In brilliant ways in the group stages. They've lost only one of their last 14.
Tanzanians are growing in this game. They're growing with self-belief. And the Nigerians have, if they want to win this game, they have to punch that one way or the other.
He did everything right except the positioning of his head when he stopped the goal.
Nigeria continuing their brilliant ways in the group stages. They've lost only one of their last 14. Well poised to claim victory here, but Tanzania looking to fight back. Alarakia gets underneath it.
This is very much an underdog story.
He did everything right except
have won the tournament as many
the
times
positioning of his head when he struck the ball.
The world ranking
leaning backwards, all the ball could do was go
between the two.
Oh, this is very much an underdog story in the sense that Nigeria have won the tournament as many times as Tanzania have played in the tournament.
Two goals,
the world ranking,
a disallowed goal,
is significant chasm between the two. Akor Adams
enthralling 10-minute
to get into position to finish.
Without delighting the
Forber comes but doesn't collect. Corner as a result. 10 minutes gone in the second half. 2 goals, a disallowed goal.
From the set piece, corner whipped
Victor
in.
Osimhen is ever dangerous.
So Samata doing the defensive duties himself. Captain's back.
Plenty of excitement. It's been an enthralling 10-minute period.
Pressure release.
Delighting the president to produce Mutsepe.
Eric Shell.
From the set piece, corner whipped in.
Speaking of
Too
history,
close. Samata doing the defensive duties himself.
being made tonight.
Captain
Potentially
back.
Lookman with that 52nd minute goal.
Free kick.
After
Tanzania.
found an equaliser for
Little bit of
Tanzania.
pressure
2 minutes
released.
earlier.
Well, he had given an advantage earlier on. And I think he just went back to
10
the
minutes
foul.
leading up to half time.
Eric
Changes to
Shell.
come for Nigeria.
How much of the history does he breathe?
We've got a couple of players
Speaking of history,
looking to make an impact.
history being made tonight,
This game,
potentially
making
look
their
one
way
of
out
the
shortly.
52nd minute goal after Mwamba found an equaliser for Tanzania just 2 minutes earlier. Done a drive and found a goal in the 10 minutes leading up to half time. Changes to come for Nigeria.
He's an outside winger.
Well, we've got a couple of players who will be looking to make an impact in this game, making their way on shortly. Love to see Moses Simon
So yellow card
impress
coming out now.
his skill upon this game.
He's an outright winger.
Impressed.
I think the Tanzanians for Tanzania to turn this around, they need to continue what they're doing now. Because they're not playing
So yellow card coming out now.
at the most, and having movements, having bodies in front of the ball.
Impressed.
But I think for Nigeria,
I think the Tanzanians for Tanzanians to turn this around, they need to continue what they're doing now, which is they are not playing quicker 1, 2, 3 touches at the most, and having movements, having bodies in front of the ball.
Well, Michael Adams is going to give away.
But I think for Nigeria, if they want to win this game, they're going to have to take back total control of the ball.
About the effort he put in.
And at the moment, the Tanzanians are giving them a good fight for
He
it.
looks disappointed.
So Chukwueze makes way, and Moses Simon is on.
On in his place.
Just before the hour mark. Well, Michael Adams is going to give way.
A couple of fine goals for Nigeria in his
He's a man who
previous appearances. It's double figures
he
now.
cares so much about the effort he puts in. And wants so desperately to score that he looks disappointed as he leaves the pitch. Delabashiro on in his place. 24-year-old now with Lazio. Chipped in with a couple of fine goals for Nigeria in his 9 previous appearances. Into double figures now.
Very much the case.
International caps for the German-born attacker.
I am curious to know if Akpo is injured or if that is just a tactical change, because he's been the liveliest striker for the Nigerians till now. I hope it's not that he's had an injury.
Certainly from a certain perspective, that will be very much the case.
They need their best players on the pitch.
You want to have your best players available throughout the competition. And Michael Adams, although he's a relatively recent arrival on the international stage for Nigeria, he's somebody whose star is rapidly rising.
That's true, but the Nigerians have not won this one yet, so they need their best players on the pitch.
Nigeria lead by
Nigeria
1.
2, Tanzania 1. Exciting moments in the second half, about 17.
Yes, Simon.
It's been
Moses Simon. Dazzling
in
run.
which
Simon
there have been a few momentum swings. The second half has been punctuated by momentum shifts.
Tipped over by Forba. Out for the corner.
An hour comes up on the stadium clock here in Fez. Nigeria lead by 1. Encouraging it currently by the old goal. You will be. Here's Simon. Moses Simon. Dazzling run. Simon pushing, squaring. Osimhen juggling, and that's tipped over by Forba. Out for the corner it goes.
There's only one of 2 players who've assisted
That's
the goal.
what Moses Simon is going to bring for you. He's an outright winger. He's got pace. He's got experience. Now you're going to see with this player loads of crosses coming.
Maybe looking to hit on transition here.
I mean, the quality of his assist making is extraordinary.
But his attempt to finish is wide.
He's only one of 2 players who have assisted a goal in each of the last 3 Afcon editions. The only other player to do that is Sadio Mane of Senegal.
Which is not a
Delivering
ideal to have.
to Wari, maybe looking to hit on transition here. Not moving it quite as they would like. Osimhen has it back. Osimhen pounces, but his attempt to finish is wide. Nigeria maintaining that presence, that high press. They're looking to win the ball back when they lose it.
Which is not a fair
Tanzania.
idea to have, because like we said earlier, they need to take that position of the game.
On is a very dangerous attacker. Simon Silva makes way. Face to the right with Delara. He's going to his way off the pitch.
Well, there's going to be a change for Tanzania.
The Danish-based striker makes his way on.
Play happens, and the man who's making his way on is a very dangerous attacker.
Kelvin John
Simon Silva makes way.
Would be starting this game for Tanzania.
He's going to
from an offensive perspective on Nigeria.
make his way off the pitch.
He's got a very
As Kelvin John,
attitude about
the Danish-based striker, makes his way on.
He's only 22.
Giant back to Mobali.
Enthusiasm and hunger. Maybe his opportunity here.
And Kelvin John is one that many felt would be starting this game for Tanzania if they really wanted to try to impose themselves from an offensive perspective on Nigeria. He's got a very positive attitude about offensive football, Kelvin John. He's only 22, he's got that youthful enthusiasm and hunger. And maybe his opportunity here to use it in the closing half hour of this opening Group C tie for the respective teams.
Out for the corner it goes. Tanzania, they're not lying down.
No, it's just like we said at the beginning of the second half.
Hiroshi out wide, Hussein. Wonderful control, delivery looks decent as well on the damp surface. It's fine defending from Silva. Hiroshi brings it under control, back out wide again, Hussein. Takes a little deflection out for the corner it goes. Tanzania, they're not lying down.
Not at all. It's just like we said at the beginning of the second half, what they needed to do, and they are doing it better than I had expected. They're pushing players legs up front. They're trying to take position. They're trying to determine their own fate. And that's quite refreshing to see.
So Dele Bashiru with a few questions.
They have self-belief.
High floated ball toward the back post.
Convinced that was quite the delivery that Hiroshi would have wanted.
Worked the ball away, and Didi with a
defended away at the near post.
Control.
So Dele Bashiru with a few questions.
Now, a little bit of space potentially. The offside flag is raised.
High floated ball toward the back post.
With a good period of sustained pressure by
Mabula got a touch on it, Nigeria.
For the first time in the game.
Happy to work the ball away, indeed, with a clearance. Kapombe brings it under control. From under the feet of Osimhen. And now, a little bit of space potentially. The offside flag is raised.
Why shouldn't they? Here they are, yeah.
But a good period of sustained pressure by Tanzania on Nigeria, possibly for the first time in the game.
I'm impressed. I think they did very good work at the halftime in the dressing room. It's very obvious that they have decided to take the and like I said earlier, they got belief. Why shouldn't they? They are here, they are. They have to.
Democratic Republic of Congo. They finished ahead of Guinea.
I still repeat that this game is not over.
First time they've qualified for successive Afcon tournaments.
Certainly far from being over.
After playing in 2022.
Nigeria, they looked fairly dominant in qualifying. They were Group D winners ahead of Benin, Rwanda and Libya.
They started their Afcon journey in
Tanzania,
Lagos.
they were second in Group H. They were in the group with Democratic Republic of Congo. So they finished ahead of Guinea and Ethiopia to qualify for this tournament. The first time they've qualified for successive Afcon tournaments. After playing in 2023, before that in 2019, and before that in 1980, when they started their Afcon journey in Lagos against Nigeria.
It's come full circle to face. When you are playing at the Afcon and you're leading by 2-1, one thing you need to do, one thing we used to do to get victory is that you are not content at that. You still try to be aggressive and try to make the opponent know that I will score you more.
Well, he was in such rampant form leading up to the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and then injury struck the cruelest blow that denied him a place at that World Cup. But he keeps coming back. He's a resilient star, is Moses Simon. Keeps this ball in play. Inside, outside. Moses Simon for the assist potentially. It will be just over.
Almost pleading look at Iwobi.
Well, that was one of those movements that everybody in the stadium lived off their seats in anticipation of a finish, but agonisingly high.
It will have been almost like a carbon copy of the goal scored by
Lukman. Towards forward, the Tanzanian goal.
Victor Osimhen.
Got the shot away, it'll count as an effort on
almost
target.
pleading look at Iwobi. Lay it into my path. Iwobi's assist for the opener stunning. Here is the ball laid into Osimhen's path. It was an awkward angle to try to finish with his right. Ends up tapping it rather tamely towards Forbo, the Tanzanian goal.
So many crosses coming in now, so it's, I think,
got the shot away. It'll count as an effort on target, but not quite the finish that he would have been seeking.
Well, let's talk about Moses Simon. I think what he has brought for to the Nigerian side is that now Nigeria's side has more width on the left side. And there are so many crosses coming in now. So it's, I think, might be good. Might serve the Nigerians well.
Well, there are chances of Osimhen all around this venue. He's a crowd puller and he's a favourite. And he absolutely delivers on the grand stage more often than not. He's just come off his first season in the Super League where he averaged effectively a goal a game to win a League and Cup double with Galatasaray.
Against the odds. Delivery toward the back post.
I mean, lest we forget his heroics at Napoli. I'm not going to draw any comparisons with other players, but he did what maybe only Maradona had done previously, and that's to take Napoli to a league title against the odds. Delivery toward the back post, fended away by Normali.
Lukman is standing just off to
dangerous inswerving ball there.
Being taken short.
Better safe than sorry. It was hit a little wide, but
nodded away.
Taking no chances. Calvin Bassey. Been stoic defensively.
Hiroshi switches the angle, gets away from
Simon. Looking to call a play. Lukman is standing just off to
Hussein has it control.
Trying to keep this from being taken short. Sent it invitingly, but again, nodded away. Calvin John pulls it back.
Passing ability
Hiroshi switches the angle, gets away from Osimhen. The space straight down the centre where Hussein has it controlled.
It seems to me tactically what they decided to do, and that's how they got the goal in the first place, was always try to take the Super League of Nigeria to one side
looking to get involved.
And then change the game to the other side.
Better passing ability and range now for Tanzania, who are finding some freedom and some space on the park. Better passages building.
Well, it seems to me tactically what they've decided to do, and that's how they got the goal in the first place, was always try to take the Super Eagles of Nigeria to one side of the pitch and then change the game to the other side of the pitch. And that's exactly what they just did now. And it's working. It's piling pressure on the Nigerian defense.
Whoever hits this one. Nigeria have been a little more on the back foot in the second half.
Where does he go from here? This feels
on the front foot again.
A little more like a chess match than a sprint, which is sometimes how teams want to get their tournaments underway. 20 minutes to play. Nigeria 2, Tanzania 1 in threes.
Eric Shell.
Certainly Nigeria have been a little more on the back foot in the second half. Looking to get on the front foot again. Simon. Worked away. on Nieto.
Alvin Bassi.
Eric Schirel. Where is his heart on his sleeve? Plenty of emotion, often visible from Eric Schirel.
Behind, like to say, Samuel. Here's Lukman. Now, Osimhen broke right and then stopped. Lukman passed left.
Opened the scoring in the opening half.
A good break as well down the left flank for Nigeria. He's content for a few on the park.
Just in behind.
Right
will say Samuel. Here's Lukman. Well, Osimhen broke right and then stopped as Lukman passed left. Simon was making a good break as well down the left flank for Nigeria.
Miroshi. He's been key in midfield for Tanzania.
For a few on the park after that ball rolled harmlessly over the goal line.
Kind of got a feeling Simon stopped because he was afraid of going into the offside again. So.
It's a new Afcon history. Didi with the ball back. Here's Iwobi. Between there.
Down the near side, Tanzania. Miroshi has been key in midfield for Tanzania. Have risen in belief.
Experience between those two.
To shape their tournament. Create a new Afcon history. Didi with the ball back. Here's Iwobi. Between them.
Fended away by Abdullah. Got the slightest of touches on it. Recovered by Lukman.
165 caps.
Seeking a way through.
Plenty of experience between those two.
A little bit of space.
Obviously getting involved again. It's Simon in combination with Iwobi. Gets past his marker. Kabombe left behind. Delivery in. Fended away by Abdullah. Got the slightest of touches on it. Recovered by Lukman. Nigeria.
It is interesting the introduction of
seeking a way through on the overlap now. Cut back, a little bit of space.
Cut back. Certainly on, but not accomplished.
From Tanzania.
Well, when you're playing against the park defense, you go through the wings. And that's why it could be interesting. The introduction of it is interesting. The introduction of Moses Simon.
Out wide, in behind the defender, cut back, certainly on, but not accomplished. Abdullah with a good, clean bit of defensive work to the pass completion. Miroshi's just been all over the park in the second half. He's been extraordinary in midfield for Tanzania. After a period of sustained pressure inside the Nigerian final third, they find themselves now pegged back in their own half.
Well, I must say it's not only the issue. I think it's the whole Tanzanian team that kind of like lose the game up now.
Have you noted any patterns from either side in the game?
What I've noticed the most is that tactically, Tanzania, they've diversified their game more. They had just one. We're speaking about the plan A, plan B now. I am seeing the plan A and B and maybe even a C now. So it's quite interesting what they're doing. They're attracting the Nigerians to one side and shifting the game to the other side. And it's working very well for them.
Kelvin John. Not playing quite so direct as he sometimes does.
Pass from Iwobi.
He's an adaptable player who can play anywhere across the front line.
The free kick awarded to Tanzania.
Steady rain that continues to fall over the 14th affairs. Heavy rain.
Kelvin John.
Is persistent.
Not playing quite so direct as he sometimes does.
Players need to prove their adaptability.
He's an adaptable player who can play anywhere across the front line.
Again tonight. Lukman squeezes through past the defender.
Steady rain that continues to fall over the sportive defence. It's not a heavy rain, but it is persistent.
15 minutes of action remains in this Group C tie.
Players need to prove their adaptability, their versatility. It will be exceptional again tonight. Lukman squeezes through past the defender, and the slightest deflection allows a very forward time to come and collect. Good awareness from the young goalkeeper. 15 minutes of action remains in this Group C tie.
Oh, that's That's for after the great first touch by Moses
I think not since Ty Dywell has somebody really stuck their hand up and said, I am the left back. He's really grown in stature in his international appearances.
And Nigeria, they've had a lot of them.
Going to be a few changes for Tanzania to come, it seems.
That's for after the great first touch by Moses Simon.
With some decent belief on the pitch.
There isn't any questions why the free kick was given. The free kick awarded regardless as Alafia goes down.
Simon, Iwobi.
There's going to be a few changes for Tanzania to come, it seems.
Thankfully, will be on the halfway line.
Playing with some decent belief on the pitch.
Nigerians are doing now what they need to do. That is, they should decide the tempo, start slowly, and accelerate when you go up forward.
You see it, cut back, look decent, look promising. No finish. Mombwa.
Thankfully, will be on the halfway line.
Well, tactically, Nigerians are doing now what they need to do. They should decide the tempo, start slowly, and accelerate when you move up forward.
On his 33rd birthday.
Cut back, look decent, look promising.
Back in this.
No finish.
Into a very handy position going forward, but Miroshi up to pass the ball diagonally.
Driven back is.
Wide, back to Miroshi.
Comes back and just shields that defence once again.
Both wait, but Iwobi has it back.
Scrum option, Samata on his 33rd birthday.
A bit of a scramble from Abdullah.
Back in this. Puts himself into a very handy position going forward, but Miroshi up to pass the ball diagonally. Out wide, back to Miroshi. Calvin John and Samata both wait, but Iwobi has it back.
In the first half, when the
over the top. A bit of a scramble from Abdullah, works it back to his keeper.
When a Tanzanian has the ball, he has automatically almost 4 options to pass the ball to. Be it short, be it wide.
Pretty interesting. This is what they changed in the first half when the Tanzanians had the ball, they had very few options up front. Now each time a player from the when a Tanzanian has the ball, he has automatically almost 4 options to pass the ball to. Be it short, be it wide.
So changes to come.
That man, Haji, 21-year-old from
done.
Salford City in England.
It is race. It is run. On in his place now. Dixon Job turns 25 next week.
Lives Portsmouth.
Has also made way. And that man, Haji Nonga, on in his stead, the 21-year-old from Salford City in England. He's born and raised.
Sanusi.
England. And lives Portsmouth. Came through the Portsmouth ranks. Spent 16 years at the club. Now with Salford City in England.
The last Africa Cup of Nations. Called against Lukman as Miroshi just cut that ball
Sanusi.
back.
It's all gotten a little quieter now.
Which is good for Nigeria, but bad for Tanzania.
Finalists the last time the African Cup of Nations was played.
Nigeria were finalists at the last Africa Cup of Nations. Called against Lukman as Miroshi just cut that ball back.
Those are the kind of fouls Nigeria will need to avoid.
And Nigeria were also finalists the last time the African Cup of Nations was played in Morocco back in 1988. Nonga getting knocked over. That'll be a free kick to Tanzania.
Those are the kind of fouls Nigeria will need to avoid because set pieces
says, I'll take it myself.
It could be the door opener for a team like this.
Invitingly. And a man who's not used to scoring in Hussein Mohammed looks to try to find a finish. His first international goal earlier this year.
Inside the final 10 minutes.
The African Nations Championship in
Miroshi says, I'll take it myself. Whips the ball in.
Victory
asking invitingly.
Delivery
And a man who's not used to scoring. Hussein Mohammed looks to try to find a finish. Scored his first international goal earlier this year, actually. The African Nations Championship in Tanzania on home soil.
Another opportunity.
Scored in a victory over Burkina Faso. Delivery in, Osimhen brings it down, doesn't bring it under control. Keepers come out dangerously. Bashiro looked to finish but couldn't. Blocked by Fulver, who's down on one knee and will maybe take a little medical treatment. Another opportunity. And a chance is coming for both these sides.
Oh, I think Osimhen could have done better with the first touch there. I think that's what put him into themselves, because physically he seemed to have dominated the defender.
Await the arrival of Paul MOROCCO. His introduction seems imminent.
Tanzania looking to stand tall again. The Afcon story has traced a very wide arc across the continent. Nigeria await the arrival of Paul MOROCCO. His introduction seems imminent.
Well, not quite gone according to plan. Achievement on the far flank.
It's understandable what he tried to do. I think the idea was good, but the execution was not fair.
Far side.
He did not cover the ball when he stopped the ball.
Well, not quite gone according to plan. Bashiro down the far flank.
It's understandable what he tried to do. I think the idea was good, but the execution was what failed him.
Calm and composed, manages to bring that ball
He did not cover the ball when he struck the ball.
Back towards his own goal. Nonga wins it back from Simon. That's something you see all too often. And Simon is trying to win it back, conceives the foul. Take quickly.
So, still a tight game. Nonga looking to chase. When the ball was on, Calvin Bassey, calm and composed, manages to bring that ball under control despite trucking back towards his own goal. Nonga wins it back from Simon. That's something you see all too often. And Simon, trying to win it back, conceives the foul.
Personally, this is
take quickly.
probably the best Tanzanian side I've seen play. This is
forward, Mabula. Back into space, Miroshi. In front of that back four, Mabula again. Lovely ball through. Chance to strike it first time, not taken, and then pulled off target. At the second time of asking by Calvin John.
Personally, this is probably the best Tanzanian side I've seen play. This is how well constructed what they're doing, and you can see the idea in everything they're trying to do.
There's been a lot of successes for Tanzanian football in recent times. Certainly the impressive exploits of some of their top teams like Simba and Zam and young Africans on the continent. There's also been
in the right direction.
Great excitement about the prospect of co-hosting the next Africa Cup of Nations, and indeed already co-hosting the recent African Nations Championship. This team qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations for successive editions for the first time. Positivity surrounding Tanzania and Tanzanian football. Taifa Stars
we're
in the right direction.
From what you're saying, you can see that you can now collaborate what we're saying about the way they're playing with the improvement of the club sides.
Simon hit that ferociously straight there into the body of Nieto. Calvin Bassey stand out defensively.
I think it's
really
probably a good idea.
Free kick to Nigeria. With that, we're going to see the change.
Hold up the ball up front. And at the moment,
and then making his way on a bit of Paul and Moorocco.
Nigerians are very
based in Turkey, in Trabzonspor. And he brings a great deal of attacking intent, doesn't he?
I think it's probably a good idea for Nigeria to bring him in because he's tall, he can hold up the ball up front. And at the moment, Nigerians are very wary of Osimhen getting injured. So taking him off now, especially towards the tail end of the game, is probably the idea trying to avoid him from having injuries.
Wrapping in cotton wool, they say.
That's a nice way to say it.
Keep him safe and sound. Victor Osimhen marches back to the bench. Whipped in. A little too strong from Simon on the far side.
Speaking of their campaigns, Nigeria.
The final 5 minutes of this Group C encounter and the tempo that we saw at the start of the half has not been sustained. I mean, that intensity there would be difficult to match for 45 minutes, never mind 90. There's no signs of fatigue from either one of these sides, which is a good indication for their respective campaigns. But speaking of their campaigns, Nigeria will be looking in 4 days' time to take on Tunisia, a very, very challenging team that knows how to play tournament football. Samata looking to release out on the far side. Square ball, Bassi again there to try to square that ball away from goal. Maybe collides with his goalkeeper. Calvin John was lurking behind him.
Lack of communication. Lack of communication. But this beautiful movement by the Tanzanians.
That's the danger that Mohamed Hussein possesses when he goes on that overlap down the left flank, because he's such a dangerous crosser of the ball. From the corner, Miroshi in toward the near post, bouncing around dangerously. The opportunity, however, not taken by Tanzania. Abdullah with a chance to finish.
They are dominating when they
instead,
go up front.
there's only
Nigeria to one side and they switch it back
an agonising moment, not only in the miss, but indeed the cramp that seemingly struck him moments after.
This asymmetric way of attacking that the Tanzanians are doing is really, really impressive. They are dominating when they go up front. The fact that they attract Nigeria to one side and they switch it back to the other side. Which is quite impressive at this level to see a team consistently do that.
Miroshi looking to get things going. Lukman. He was on target in the qualifiers. He was on target.
So 2 minutes plus out of time. Nobali to get the ball back into play from a goal kick. Launches a long way outfield. Nonga's underneath it. So we see now down the near side. Can't find a way through. So Miroshi looking to get things going. Lukman. He was on target in the qualifiers. He was on target in this half.
Way through. Not going to happen here.
Nigeria looking for a third in the game. Delivery to come away by Abdullah again.
Too much touches of the ball.
Clearly finding Bassi forward to Iwobi. Now Zaidu Sanusi again. Seeking a way through. Not going to happen here.
Nigeria on the verge of an opening day victory this campaign. Delivery in. Scoops away. Samata with a little touch. Counter-attack is on. Indeed, cuts it out. Lukman.
Into the 90th minute we go. Nigeria on the verge of an opening day victory this campaign. Delivery in. Scooped away. Samata with a little touch. Counter-attack is on. Wilfred Ndidi cuts it out. Lukman. Sanusi. Moses Simon.
Back to
Mystery again.
He's been very good for Nigeria ever since he's come.
It's his takeoff speed. I mean, he goes from 0 to 100 in one step.
And he's not the tallest guy on the pitch. That's the beautiful part of it.
Stuck his hand up to be counted in today's opening fixture
Far side.
in Group C.
So back to Shemia Jai, whose goal seems an age away now. We hit the 90-minute mark, 3 minutes of additional time here in Fez. Nigeria lead by one. Zaidu Sanusi, among those who stuck his hand up to be counted in today's opening fixture. in Group C.
They could really build on what they put up here today.
It's going to be a change here for Tanzania. And they're looking to make an attacking change. Dennis Kibu will make his way on.
Nigeria.
Wolfgren is the goal scorer for Tanzania. Mwamba.
Lots of positives from this game from Tanzania. I think they could really build on what they put up here today, playing against one of the favorites on paper and able to
what they're doing now
put up this performance they've done here today.
You don't need
Nigeria.
You don't need to win every game by 2 goals. Oh, hey, this is the time they have to slow down.
Slowing it down, patience at times. I suppose there is a difference between slowing things down deliberately and being patient about your game.
Circulate the ball around.
Now, what they're doing now is perfect. There is no need to rush. You don't need to win every game by 2 goals. Well, hey, this is the time they have to slow down. It's up to the Tanzanians now to come up there. There is no rush to go forward now. The ball just have to just circulate the ball around.
Pulls it back and Didi on the halfway line.
And the importance of that tournament
Nigeria on that day that I've mentioned a few times, back in 1980 in Lagos, Nigeria victorious by 3 goals to 1 over Tanzania.
Footballers that heard stories about the team in 1980 that had
And Nigeria
qualified for the
ended up
Africa Cup of
winning
Nations.
that tournament.
It seemed like an
This time around it's 2-1. There's still
and now they've
who
qualified
knows,
for
maybe
3
a
of
third
the
goal is
last 4
coming.
tournaments.
The importance of that tournament for Tanzania was significant as well. Even though they failed to win a match, there were generations of footballers that heard stories about the team in 1980 that had qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. It seemed like an unreachable achievement. And now they've qualified for 3 of the last 4 tournaments.
More illustrious opponents.
Not forgetting that back in the days, you did not have so many participants from Africa. You have few nations that could qualify.
Yes.
In sequences from the first
I think their progress has been measured in more than just results. It's been measured in competitiveness, in staying alive in games longer, in no longer being overawed by more illustrious opponents.
But from a tactical point of view, this is the best I have seen them play. The way they were able to manage this game and, in sequences from the first half, it's been impressive.
Whistle in the mouth, and that will be it, says Dan Bader, Mauritania. The referee signals the end of this opening fixture in Group C of the African Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. And Nigeria have beaten Tanzania by 2 goals to 1. It's not a statement win, but it is 3 points guaranteed and the perfect platform to launch into their campaign before they meet Tunisia on match day 2 in 4 days' time. Tanzania have Uganda in Rabat in 4 days' time before they finish their group against Tunisia 3 days after that. Victor Osimhen might not have been on the scoreboard today. He punctuated play with his movement. Lookman was superb. A few players stuck their hands up tremendously despite the wet conditions. Final score, Nigeria 2, Tanzania 1 in Fez.
The Super Eagles are victorious in their opening fixture, Morocco 2025, Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. Believe you might say, no doubt, 3 points is more important than having to play exceptional football. And you have to take into cognizance how things have looked like with regards to the weather. They will take this victory and continue to build.
The Super Eagles are victorious in their opening fixture, Morocco 2025, Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. Believe you might say, no doubt, 3 points is more important than having to play exceptional football. And you have to take into cognizance how things have looked like with regards to the weather. They will take this victory and continue to build from here as they are atop the table. Later I'll be catching up with Tunisia and Uganda. Take nothing away from the Taifa Stars of Tanzania. Great outing in just their fourth appearance. They have actually shown a great heart as they took the fight to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Disappointed that they had to lose this one, but I guess there's a whole lot to look forward to. We'll try to unpack just a few of this before we get into the Tunisia-Uganda game after this break.
TenBet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is a competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by TenBet.
In this game of keeping it 100, we don't rise by chance. We rise by choice. But you want more. Every move, every moment, earned, never given. Play like no one's watching, even when you're watching yourself. The real victory is taking it to 100 again and again, even at the top of your game. But remember, the rise up is never finished. Win your share of 1 million rand in prizes.
Everyone's incredible. Betway SA20, 26 December to 25 Jan. Get tickets now at sa20.coza.
Hello Africa, my name is Bishop. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I wish the Super Eagles of Nigeria victory in this the Super Eagles of Nigeria shall bring forth this special sport back to Nigeria. We love the Super Eagles.
Hello Africa, my name is Bishop. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I wish the Super Eagles of Nigeria victory in this Afcon competition, and I hope and pray that the Super Eagles of Nigeria shall bring forth this special score back to Nigeria. We love the Super Eagles.
All the need is away. Now you have them on your side. The Super Eagles of Nigeria again.
Now the level with that, Nigeria. All the need is away, and you have them on your side. Nigeria are are on for their fourth title, and a good start at that, you would say, even though there's a whole lot of task ahead of them in other fixtures to come through. But they finally come through with a victory for them, and that's exactly how they wanted to get things going. The Super Eagles of Nigeria again take nothing away from how Taifa Stars of Tanzania turned out in this one. We're not sure how things will look like as they progress, but definitely they look like a team to look out for. Nigeria becomes the third nation to win by a 2-1 score margin, as we saw what happened between Egypt and Zimbabwe. But then again, let's get things going, gentlemen. You can calm down now. It's okay. Your mind is okay. Nigeria has the 3 points in the bag. Let's look at how things are turned out. Starting with you, what is it?
Can we just tell the viewers that at least now that Nigeria has won, Daniel can have his supper. You did not eat all that. I did not eat all day. We did not Nigeria to win.
But in any case, let's get into the goals. That first goal for you, quite impressed. And I think Nigeria should have taken advantage of their aerial threat, even after they got this.
As I said in the first half, the physicality of Nigeria can make the difference. And in this case, you can see that the assist, even the chest, was amazing. I think it's a strong thing about this team that they have the height, they have the quality to also finish not only at the defender. We have Osimhen that is also good with the head. And I think particularly in tournaments like this, the set pieces make all the difference when you are playing against a team that plays with a low block, that they close the lines. When you have the chance on the free kick, on a corner, you have to make the difference. And I think Nigeria did a good job today in that sense.
And I think they need to do more of that. I totally agree with you, Miguel. Especially when you have those kind of height in the final third, you must take advantage of it. You must put that ball in the air. Osimhen gives you the threat. Semi Ajayi gives you the threat. Akpo Adams gives you the threat. We saw him hit the crossbar also. But then again, like I said, and right from the onset, you cannot take anything away from the Taifa Stars of Tanzania. You have to be very impressed with how they turned out in this one. They didn't look like a little team at all. They stood toe-to-toe, muscle-to-muscle against the Super Eagles. And if they had that extra quality, maybe it would be a different story. But they didn't come up with an equalizer.
It would have been a different story because of the ball that they score with. It's a delightful ball. Because when the ball gets pushed back, when you play the ball back, it's a trigger for you to push up. Now, what happens in this instance is that Nigeria does not push up, and they keep Mbomba onside in this moment. He takes it delightfully so on the first touch. You can ask the goalkeeping to say, could Mawali have done better? The answer would have been yes. He tries to close this near post first, and then he tries to come out and close the angle. Difficult ball to save for him, but one learning, if there's any youngsters that are watching, is that when the opponents play the ball back, it's a time for you to push back and press the ball. Therefore, Nigeria are trying to play a high line without pressure on the ball carrier, and it was easier for the ball to be played through, and both was supposed to good goal.
Well, I guess it's a simple thing you should actually learn. I'm talking the Nigerian side. Attack the ball first before you get into worship session. Raising your hands. All right, let's talk about how the winning goal came with Ademola Lookman, and what a strike. If you give him that kind of chance, he will punish you.
Yeah, Lookman has been impressive in this game for the whole 90 minutes. He has pushed all the way. He has tried to play some window passes to Osimhen on the game. And if you look at the way he scored this goal, he took his time. And as a striker that he is, he needs to actually wait for the proper moment and the chances for him to actually strike. And which you can see he strike with his weaker foot, which I think is not really his weaker foot because it's good with his both foot. Great goal for me.
Great goal, and what a strike. We've seen that with his team at Atalanta. We've seen it with the Super Eagles. And when you give him that kind of chance, he will actually put it through. And that's how he's actually developed his game at the van, the former African Footballer of the Year. It's interesting that Nigeria has got 2 African Footballers of the Year. They need to do better with it. This is what the starter is looking like. Just look at that shot on target for Nigeria. And I think they could have done better with that. 23 crosses. You have to ask yourself, were they dealing with vampires?
When you look at the stats and look at the 11 goals that they have on target, it says a lot that they were not satisfied with only the 2 goals. They tried as hard as possible to get that third one. But when you look at the passes completed, to go over 450, it means that you have the control, you had the control. And for me, we also need to give credit to the likes of Ndidi. We have to give credit to the likes of Iwobi in that midfield. I thought thought they took very good control of the midfield. They controlled the tempo, and the passes that they were spreading, short, long, they were very accurate with their passes. So I need to give credit to Nigeria to say a controlled performance today. They just need to watch out for that transitional moments, because at times they were out of position.
I promise you that it needs to be better than what we have actually witnessed currently. But in any case, that's our thoughts from here. Let's head back to the social corner. Chewy is standing by with how things have turned out on the social streets. Talk to us, Chewy.
Titles. Nigeria.